All right, this is a switch that I have received for repair, and what I'm going to show you is how to just clean the contacts to get the windows working again. I'm not going to concern myself with these buttons. I'm not going to concern myself with the lights. This is just a quick and dirty, clean the contacts, get the windows working again. So let's get started. This switch has been repaired before. Most of them have. I think you can see there's a tiny screw there. There's one on the back as well. So we'll begin by removing those screws. I don't know if you can tell, it has immediately popped up when I remove those screws because it's spring loaded, and it's the spring loading that holds the contacts that float inside the switch in place. This switch still has decent clips on this side, which is why there were only 2 screws instead of 4. So by using an X-Acto knife, I can slip up under the clip and release it. And get up under that one, and now I can take the top off. Take this gasket off, and you can see the contacts inside the switch. So I'll shake those out. This is a switch with the circuit board removed from the top of it. What I want to show you, you can see that the contacts in there are really corroded. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this soldering aid tool, and with the switch I'm repairing, I'll go in through here and I will clean all of these contacts. You see that one there that's just really corroded? That's really common. That is the driver's side up. The one next to it is the driver's side down, and you can see that that contact in this switch is almost worn away, which is probably why this one's in the junk pile. So I'm going to go inside there and I'm going to clean those contacts up. So let me get started with that. Okay, I've got the contacts all clean. This in this other one here, you see these are the rest. The contacts rest on these pieces of metal, and that is also a contact. So you have 3 contacts for each switch. There's a total of 4 switches. There's these 2 contacts and the one in the center, and so that's where it sits. So part of the trick is getting the contacts back in the right place on that, and I use this pair of needle nose pliers, and it is, as you can see, it can be a trick to get that in place. Now that's what it looks like. Now also I want you to notice that the round part on the center, they go up, and on the outside they go down. I'll go ahead and put an outside one in place so you can see that as well. Oops. I'm telling you, it can be a challenge. It takes some patience, and this is with the circuit board removed. You can, okay, so you see there's the first 2 in, 1 down, 1 up, and that's on the passenger side. So now I'm going to put the contacts back in the other switch. Okay, before I put these contacts back in the switch, let me point out that I also cleaned them up. I cleaned these contacts on the end. That's the top of the contact, that's the bottom, and I use this little piece of like emery cloth. This I think is actually wet or dry sandpaper, and clean those up as well. Okay, these contacts that were in this switch were pretty clean except for the actual contact tip points. You can see they're all back in there now. Sometimes what I will do, sometimes when I open a switch, they're really grubby inside. People have this idea that if they put some of that electrical gel in there that it'll help preserve them, and it doesn't. It makes it worse. So I'll use this and I'll spray it on a shop cloth and then wipe the contacts off, and it works real good. So now I'm going to put this back together, put the gasket on it. Okay, the gasket's in place. I always look at these actuators, make sure they're not deformed in any way, and they still have good smooth spring action. And then we put that back on there, set it in place, and then clip it back together like this. Hold it so it can't move, and then come over here and you see, there we go, those two are in place. And now I can put the screws back in there. Okay, I've got it back together, and there's your switch. I'll make another video on how to test your switch, whether you've just taken it out of the car or you've just cleaned the contacts or whatever, but before you put it back in the car, you want to make sure it works. And so I'm going to make another video on how to test that. Wise Old Dope out.